Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet. We've got Rock in the studio. Welcome in the green room.
This is pretty cool. We've been hanging out here before the show, having a little chit chat.
Hell yeah.
Ready to get going.
Rock Thomas.
Very fun.
And we've got Eric Knuckleby. Can you say hello?
Welcome in the green room.
Yeah, glad to be here. This group knows how to have fun.
Definitely. Every show is fun.
The laughs and the jokes haven't been minimal.
Bobby Reese. Say hello.
Hello, guys. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
And the famous Martin Niner.
Hello, everybody. Did you miss me? Cheers, everybody.
We are here to have some fun and entertain you.
That's
and
right. Cheers.
Drink
I
already.
know you're missing the drink. This is
Cheers.
my good friend, or King and I, good friend, Brad Beard up in Sonoma County. We're doing a little Viognier right now, which is amazing, 2019.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So familiar.
It's so good.
If you're going up to Sonoma, she poured it all in. That's all on King.
So we are here saving the planet.
One
show at a time.
That's our catchphrase. We should have told them first.
That's right. We should have probably let them know that one.
Now you know. So when it comes up. So Rock, tell us a little bit about, your upbringing and what made you into the person you are today. That made you you're like the Dos Equis man, and you're so interesting. So tell us a little bit about, you're born in Canada, and tell us about your upbringing and what made you such
Montreal.
a unique individual.
So, I have a Gold Cast video. I don't know if you heard of
I've
it.
watched the
Of
video.
course.
Yes.
Of course. We saw it.
That came out a couple years ago, and it went viral, and 100 million people have seen it.
100 million people. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible.
And I remember I was sitting in Thailand at the time, and I was looking at my inbox in Facebook, and it was just like message. I'm like, what's going on? And I started to look at the views, and it was like 453,000. I'm like, what? And then I click refresh, and it would be 890,000. And I'd hit refresh, and it would be 1.3 million. And then it was just going crazy. And so that story is the story of my childhood, and the fact that we're all given these labels. And I was given the label of Bone Dog and Pizza Face by my lovely brother, who was a little shorter than me, and who wanted to level the playing field by, giving me a label that would make me feel bad about myself. And so fighting through that, I guess to answer your question, defined me. And made me very resilient. I actually became very good at football because I ran away from my brothers a lot.
Maybe that speedy leg. Well, yeah, I've seen that video, but I just wanted to, cover it so that way anybody that maybe hasn't, we could get that background.
Well, tell
on
us
what made you
a
so
little bit
tough.
more about it. Why do
Yeah.
you think it's so viewed? Why do you think people are passing that on and watching that? Why are there 100 million views on that?
Well, the relationship that we have with our parents is going to affect our life a lot.
Yay, Chad.
And in my case,
Luckily, she's cool. I did not have the same interaction you had with your father. She's like opposite. She's like so supportive, and
But it goes either way. You can have a great relationship. I work with a lot of people now that have, the parents pass the business on to the kids, and the kids are so afraid to mess up because they're being given every chance to succeed. And at the root of everything, we all have this fear that we're not enough. And so we have different coping devices for that. Some of us are achievers, some of us become funny, some of us, do different things. But for me, I learned how to become an achiever. And through that, I developed the ability to have resilience. I'm a great warrior. You want me on your team. You want me as an employee because I'm unfucking stoppable. I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, you
You can say
can.
whatever you want.
You're a fucking doer. Yeah, drop those that
Wait,
box.
this is the
Yeah.
uncensored?
Give him some weight. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I can relax.
Yeah. Loosen those shoulders up.
right. So
What made you that way? Is it your dad being so tough
Yes.
on you? He worked a lot?
Right. So when I was 8.5, I was living with my mom from 5. My parents got divorced at 5. When I was 5, I moved in with my mom, and my mom was a gypsy, and she was never home. So I would come home and I'd set fire to things, and I'd get in trouble, and so she couldn't handle it. So she shipped me off to my dad to straighten me out. So he put me to work on the farm. And so at the age of 8.5, I would go out in the morning at 5:30 in the morning and feed 22 horses. And I would invariably run into a problem. Like couldn't lift a bucket of water, or I couldn't, didn't know how to turn on the frozen taps or whatever. So I'd run back to the house and go, Dad, can you help me? And he would say, no, go outside and figure it out.
Really?
Yeah,
No help.
no.
Okay.
And I was like, what do you mean figure it out? I don't know how to do it. That's why I'm asking you. He goes, just think about it and use your brain. And basically, he wasn't doing that because he was creative. He had his own problems, and he was busy trying to make a living. So he would literally lock the door.
No.
Yes, and say, you don't get breakfast until you feed the horses.
So sink or swim right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So basically, it's survival of the fittest. If you
Yeah.
don't get it done, you're not going to eat.
And so what I learned is that there's always a way.
So do you feel like that was actually a good thing that you
It's
did?
an amazing thing. Like,
Oh, okay.
I go into a situation, I have zero doubt that I'll find a way. Zero doubt. It's
I
just-
love hearing that because nowadays so many people are pessimistic in society and try to cancel things or say things can be done. So it's so refreshing to hear somebody that's like, we're gonna get that shit done. We're gonna do it. Yeah.
Stuff right now.
I could tell you a funny story that happened recently. Is I drive a Tesla and I was on.
Oh, it was a nice. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got lost. It was great.
Right, and there's another story with the Tesla that I was on Scottsdale Boulevard, and I took my foot off the brake while I was looking at my phone at a red light, and my car advanced and kissed the car in front of me. And I'm like, oh, jeez.
I like how you said kissed.
Yeah.
That's what you would say if you're the one hitting him. So soft.
I don't think she said that. So she gets out of her car, I get in my car, and we have this conversation. Oh, and is it okay? And nothing happened. She goes, I just bought my car 2 hours ago, literally. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And
She bought it 2 hours ago?
yeah.
Well, she saw you were in a Tesla. She knows you got some money. And gonna milk it.
Right, exactly. So we figure out nothing happened. And so she drives off, and I'm waving cars around us because by then there was a buildup. And so I go back to get in my car, and the doors are locked. My keys in the car, the phone's in the car, and I don't understand why it's not opening.
Elon.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Right?
Oh, there we go.
So I'm waving cars around, and one of the reasons I love this town is that nobody honked. People stopped and
Nice.
said, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "I don't know what to do." And they're like, "We'll call 911 for you." And
You're here to stay.
exactly. So I just took a deep breath and I thought, okay, what are my options? So I called my assistant, asked her to look for the extra key.
Yoga pose.
Yes, right.
Namaste.
Namaste. And then I remember I had my watch. So I get close to the window and I call my son who lives in Canada. I give him the code. He goes online and he unlocks the car
No.
from Canada. And I get in the car and drive
Wow.
off.
Oh my gosh, I need a Tesla immediately. It's sustainable and you can get in when you're locked out.
Yes.
Oh,
There's
right.
always a way.
There's always a way.
Always a way.
Boom, I love it.
And that should be the motto of today's podcast. There's always
There's
a way.
always a way.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah,
table
that's
this?
a good one.
Always the way.
I like it.
There's
Yeah.
always a way. So then what happened?
So, well, I drove home. But,
That was the end of the story, apparently.
but back to the upbringing is I did learn that, when you're committed and creative, you can achieve anything. You don't have the hammer, you can use a rock to bang the nail in. And so I think one of the things I learned and that I try to teach people is that just look around at what the resources are
Yeah.
and then MacGyver it, right? Find a way to make it work. And then look at it as a fun exercise. Instead of like, oh my God, the air conditioning's broken in the car. Just like, okay, like I get a free sweat. I can work out. I can,
It's Bikram driving.
It's Bikram driving. There you go, Mark. I love it. I love it, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
So your upbringing is really what made you such a resilient person. But I feel like so many people that are, in the Gen Z generation, their hardest decision was, oh, where's the phone charger? Or where's the computer charger? So for the younger generation, how do you think they're going to instill that same level of determination and problem solving and all that kind of stuff?
Well, that's a good question.
Luckily, I'm slightly older. I had some life experience, but I feel like some of the kids were just 5 years younger than me. It's literally like interacting with an alien. They can't function. Like,
Well, on that note, tell the world about your kids because they're very successful, and tell them how you parented.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
you
interesting.
know, I raised my kids in a similar way to my father raised me. Is my father always said, "I'm preparing you for life.
tough love.
Tough love. I'm preparing you for the world." Right? It's a tough world out there. So I taught my kids how to type. I would
Blindfolded.
blindfold them. I would play different games, and we had a chart on the wall, and it was the first one to type the back of the 4 agreements in 4 minutes, which was basically 80 words a minute. And so they were digesting content that would serve them while they were learning a skill set that would serve them. And I remember my daughter in her last year in high school, she was typing in the classroom. And somebody said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm taking notes." They go, "You cannot be taking notes typing that fast. You're just that's impossible." Right? So, I had them read books. I paid them to read. I had them do presentations in the living room, and like us sitting here, and one of the kids would present, and then we'd all give them feedback. You know, I noticed that you sway and you're shuffling your feet. That makes you seem like a lack of confidence. So then the next time they wouldn't do that. And so, so my kids are, you know, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. And I tried to not do it as tough as my dad. A watered
But that
down
was a
version.
little overboard. It sounds like.
So
Yeah.
a more loving
Yeah.
approach.
They may disagree, but, you know, their mom balanced that part out.
How often do you see them?
Well, with COVID, not that often, but we're, you
Are they
know,
up in Canada right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm in business with my son. We do a lot of Zoom calls, but I see them fairly regularly.
Nice.
And as they grew up, I mean, we always did 2 weeks at Christmas away and stuff like that.
Maybe they can come down here to where things are free. And
Right.
Sneak
Well,
them down
some-
here.
Something
Yeah.
cool that your son at 29 owns 2 Lamborghinis,
Yep.
and it's smart. He rents one of them out. Can you tell a little bit about that? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, one of the
He
things
makes $15,000 a month.
yeah, yep.
Tell that story.
One of the things I teach is that the principles of success never change, but the tactics do. And I'm sure you didn't learn about Airbnb when you went to high school or college,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's a new one.
Exactly. So, you know, what I try to do is I try to find out what's working in the world. Turo is a way that you take a car and you rent it to people, and you can.
Sure, I didn't know about this till they
Yeah.
told me this today.
Yeah.
Airbnb or cryptocurrency. I'm 58, but I hang out with people that are younger than me, like, you know, Bobby and Eric, because I feed off their energy, right? These are
Oh.
dynamic guys
I love
that are
that.
out there making it happen.
Bobby.
King
I bet
You made
some
this all
people over at
happen.
Blockbuster wish they would take a
Eric.
page out of your book.
Right? And so I try to bring my wisdom to their life, but feed off of their hunger, because these guys are hungry, right? I don't like to hang around people that aren't hungry.
So
Do you
let's
think I'm
touch a little
hungry?
bit on where your connection.
Am I hungry? Hold on. Am I hungry?
You're hungry.
I think
You're thirsty also.
Where did your connection with Eric's company originally start?
On the golf
That's a good
course.
question.
Okay.
On the golf course, but it's a great question
story.
because
That's a great question.
the biggest problem successful business people have is finding talent. No matter what, right? Is finding talent.
Yes.
And so I'm like this radar that goes around. I'm always looking for talent,
Me too.
right? And so when I see it, right,
We're
then
like,
I hone in on it and I go, how do I bring this person into my world, or how
Totally.
do I go into their world, right?
Oh yes.
And so that's how we met on the golf course, and it wasn't.
It's
it was
instant.
within a hole or
Eric,
two.
it's instant
It's
with
a
Bobby.
crazy story, man.
Well, tell
Let's
that
hear
story.
it. Yeah, that's
Eric,
what we're here for. The
introduce
crazy
yourself.
stories. Let's hear it.
And tell us about the solar company, and then tell us the story, please.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we met on a golf course, true story, and at the Phoenician locally. So, like, do you guys golf?
Little bit.
Okay.
Not
have you
good,
ever,
but-
Have you ever?
His best friend just went pro, and the dad is.
Okay, awesome. Do you play
Tom-
Mark?
Doesn't mean I'm good.
I consider myself more of a hacker.
Tom Lennon. So
Everybody else is laughing.
Yeah.
so
he
yeah.
knows who he is. He knows him.
Everybody
so
knows
Tom
who Tom
Lennon,
is. Yeah, he's a legend.
his son
Yeah.
is his best friend.
Oh, that's
That's
super
awesome.
cool.
And he
I
just
love
went-
Tom Lennon.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
good like he is.
Yeah, me neither. So
But
maybe
you'll
I
be
can
good,
get
you'll be
lessons
good
from, you know. But I'm playing this round this day, and I show up, and my buddy texts me last minute as I'm in the parking lot checking in. Hey, I can't make it. I got busy. So I'm like, do I play? Do I not? So I almost didn't show up. I almost just like got back into work
Oh, yeah,
mode.
if you have nobody to play with.
Yeah, it was an afternoon,
Yeah.
weekday. So I go and I check in, and they're like, we're going to pair you up with these 3 guys, that you don't play by yourself, whatever. I'm like, cool. So I get the cart, I wheel up, and Rock and 2 other guys who are both awesome, by the way, are out there. They're like, hey, man, yeah, you playing with us? I'm like, maybe. Like, I was just going to sneak by him in my cart.
But then you're like, he's actually cool, so I mean, hey.
Yeah.
And you're
we'll
by
see what's up.
yourself?
I'm by myself.
Who golfs by themselves?
Well,
We
when
do
your buddy
sometimes.
doesn't show up.
Yeah.
People actually do that?
Yeah, I do that.
Wow.
too.
A
couple of
But
balls,
This,
you know.
this
Really?
exact day.
Okay. I didn't know that.
His buddy
So-
was lame, and he had to stick with it. I like
Okay.
it. I
So
like
you have
it.
confidence enough to golf
Yeah.
alone. Okay.
So I'm just
Okay.
like, okay, this point I'm just gonna play fast. I got a cart. I'm gonna buzz around the Phoenician. Get 18 in before dark. They're like, yeah, you guys, you want to play with us? I'm like, not really in my head, but I'm like, yeah, why not? So I get out of the cart, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're walking.
Oh, jeez.
Which like
Wait, who said we're walking?
these guys were. Him
were
and the
walking?
2 other
Why?
group that I got paired with.
It's good
Why not?
exercise.
Yeah.
Good exercise, carry
Yeah.
the bag. How do you
She's like,
stay
why?
fit and sexy without walking?
You got legs, use them. Yeah.
So long story longer. I get paired up with these guys. We walk. We play a bunch of holes.
He ditches the cart.
I ditched their I'm like yelling
Like, dude,
at
come on.
the starter, the Phoenician. Don't need the car. Like, so we walk, we play, and Rock and I talk for like 3.5 hours. We're talking about life and sports and professional sports and coaching and
Because you
all
played
the events
baseball,
we've done. I did play some baseball.
minor league and college, and I
Awesome.
told
Yeah.
he knows about your baseball, and anyway.
So he's like telling me some of the stuff he's done, and like we had some mutual connections. We've been to some of the same events. Like my first ever, I got introduced to personal development through an event called Unleash the Power Within, UPW, by Tony Robbins. Well, then Rock's like, yeah, I was one of his coaches for like X amount of years.
You were his coach?
Rock was,
I'm one of his trainers. I've
A
done
trainer.
74 of his events.
yeah. So
Wow.
Rock
Wow.
was in the,
Wow.
the program, and he knew, we were talking about that. So it was
Wow.
just a divine connection, I guess you could say. And next thing you know,
It's all divine connection.
yeah.
It's all divine.
Well, it's like how we met, right?
Totally.
Bobby
Yes.
and I met,
Yes.
and all these different things. So,
Yes. Yes.
just
For a reason.
Yes.
what's
You know,
that?
People come together for a reason.
right.
For a reason.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And then, yes. And yes.
Right?
And yes is more fun.
Just say yes.
So wait, yes
Yeah.
is more fun.
Yes is
So-
more fun.
So,
That's right.
Yes,
so
and figure it
we're
out
gonna
later.
finish the story and then
Yeah.
we'll go to a
Yeah.
song with Martin.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes is more fun.
So that was really the story. So that's how Rock and I met, and here we are today. Now, obviously, we're in solar together, and
How so?
been
Give
fun.
us tell us about your company.
yeah, Arizona Custom Solar. We're also creating a national entity as well. So most of our, I guess, projects in solar are in Arizona. Everywhere from Tucson to Flagstaff. However, we're getting into New Mexico, California, and Texas is where we have current projects. And we're looking to expand in other states as well. But we're based in Scottsdale. And most of our team, per se, is located here.
And Bobby's your number one sales guy.
Bobby is a rock star
Bobby.
consultant.
So in terms of
And,
our listeners and viewers that
Yeah.
are thinking about getting solar, what makes you better and different than the other
Yes.
solar companies?
Good question, Chad.
So there's 4 things. I mean, I would just be like, well, Bobby's here. So that would be-
I didn't do that. Yeah.
Like, just
That's
go
it.
with him.
At 25.
You're already doing better than 99.9%. And the only reason it's not 100 is because there's rock. No, I'm just kidding. But there's 4 reasons people go solar primarily, and not in any order. But one would be, sounds like an alignment with your show.
Yes.
Save the planet, help the environment.
Can we say it right now?
Oh no, no,
Save the
I,
planet.
Planet
One show
One show at a time. Okay.
I didn't mean like the reasons why somebody would move to solar. I meant
Yeah.
what makes your solar a better option than the other solar panel options out there.
Why
So-
would somebody
'cause-
pick you?
I was going to tie in the 4 reasons
Oh,
that
okay,
they
yeah,
go
keep-
solar
okay.
to why they would pick us.
Okay,
Okay,
I was
perfect.
making sure
Yeah,
I
it's such a good question.
asked the question properly. Sweet.
But
Great
the
question.
environmental benefits, the making an impact or contribution to society is one. The financial savings, it's now cheaper to go solar than it is to rely on the utility company.
So then why would anybody be wasting those other resources? Like, it's crazy.
A lot of reasons.
Laziness.
Awareness,
Number
they
one
don't
reason
know.
is they
Yeah.
misinformed,
They don't know. They don't know.
misinformation. Maybe they looked at it in 2013 and it was different than it is today, present day. A lot of reasons. The third reason is the federal and state incentives. And then the last reason is
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on
the
that?
federal government right now will allow a homeowner to have a 26% tax credit on their system if they transition to solar in 2021.
And
The
a lot of
state
people
of
don't know that.
Arizona has had a $1,000 incentive. So when you put the two together, it's a significant portion of their system. And they can use that in different ways, however it best helps them, right? Some people put it back into their system. Some people use it on the return and different things. So, and then the last one is it can increase their property value, whether it's commercial or residential. We help them identify it, and we don't make it about us, we make it about them. Because everybody has different aspects of different things they want out of it. So we do what's called an assessment on their home. We go in, we look at all these variables, and we just ask them, Kinga, you have a beautiful home, right? We would say,
Yeah.
What do you want out of this? What's the best case scenario for you? And then we have different things that we tailor to their house, and that's why we're called Arizona Custom Solar, because we can customize it to them, and we can set up a vast variety of different options. So anyway, those are good.
So it sounds like you really go out of your way to accommodate your customers then. Where's the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bobby, is it very easy to sell the solar? Because I know you're the top seller of last month at 26,000. That's a big deal.
I mean, it just makes sense for a lot of people out here. We live in the Valley of the Sun. Utility companies, they raise their rates every single year, and you can get locked into a lower fixed rate by going solar. So, and it's really, one of the things that sets us apart is it's people serving people. We truly want what's best for the people that we're sitting across, and that comes off to everybody. So,
But it's really incredible at 25 years old for you to have made that much with a solar company
Thank you.
last month. That's
Appreciate
incredible.
Yeah.
So what is your, how do you do it?
I would say just hard work. Hard work is the number one thing. You can't expect a different result if you're not going to go out and do a different action. So, I feel like. that's
Well, it
stuff
sounds
that
like
you
you have a
do.
really great product to sell too. So
Yeah.
it sounds like makes it a little easier
It
that
does
you
make it a
have.
lot
Yeah,
easier
yeah.
when it's like,
Like, there's all this sunshine out here. If somebody use it, like, yeah.
We used to say, and we still do say, the cost of electricity, there's a cost of electricity, the sun is free.
Yeah.
So, when you put it like that, I think that's why, Bobby thrives for a lot of reasons. He would thrive in anything in a
the
rock
main
star.
thing I thrive is being around guys like these guys.
And we all know.
We created a team that is, we all want what's best for each other. We want what's best for the people we're sitting across, and it's just a great environment.
And we all know that you were a wrestler.
Yeah.
And you did really well as a wrestler on scholarship at
at
GCU. And that's why
Impressive.
Eric recruited you to work for the company, because he thinks that athletes like you work harder. It's just true.
Well, and he could kick someone's ass.
Yeah.
It's like getting annoying.
Like, if we have any issues,
No.
like restaurants have bouncers, like we have Division I wrestlers.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Like, when you need muscle.
You
like,
could have a bouncer and a pretzel. Like,
Yeah.
When you and Russell, we wouldn't trade now.
Yeah, we have this guy named, speaking of athletes, we have this guy named Lance in our office. He's one of our outside directors. He's 6'5". I won't say his weight.
He's a beast.
I'm just kidding. He's a massive guy. He was a Seattle Mariners draft pick.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
So he was in Peoria, Arizona. Lives in Mesa with his wife, brand new daughter, awesome family, and he's crushing it. So another athlete in the same lane, and you just apply the work ethic of an athlete, and you put that into something that can, find success outside of sports.
I feel like athletics is a great place to find a work ethic.
Yeah.
Not maybe one on the level of rocks, but still
Farm
a
military
work,
sports.
still a work ethic.
Right? Well, the
Yeah,
funny
that's a
thing
good.
about
That's
Rock-
a good list.
Here's the funny thing about Rock too is that he has a lot of the same attributes as a world-class athlete. One thing he shared with me, there's a super, I guess I would say, famous sports institute out there called IMG Academy, where top level athletes in different sports go to train. You spend some time out there, so it's the power of proximity. You know, you start getting yourself around different environments like that, and you just start thinking differently. So
I would love to cut to
Yeah.
a song. But
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
your saying about yes is more fun or yes is something?
Well, yes is more fun because if you just say no,
Very true.
it's down, right? So you say yes, it feels good.
So what is your famous quote, Rob?
Say yes
Thomas.
and figure it out later.
Okay.
Get past the initial hesitation and fear. You don't need to know how, you need to know why.
So say yes and figure it out later. Is your quote?
Yes.
Can we get back to that after yes is more fun?
Well, I'm
this
gonna
song?
I'm gonna play upon that because
Oh,
the way
okay.
that I met you was
Yes.
through Sean, who's running the sound and all this fun stuff here today.
At 3 Leaf Recording.
At 3 Leaf Recording.
Yeah,
I've
that's
been
awesome
trying to get here
studio.
for 1 year.
Oh,
Right.
3 Leaf
Yeah,
Recording.
we've been trying to get here for a while, but the album that
1
we
year.
recorded here was called Yes Is More Fun.
That's
and
right.
So,
Well, the world is a scary place. Everybody's putting on a sad or unbelievable face. Sometimes you'll just go out and get lost, and then other times you'll go out golfing and meet a guy named Ross. I say yes. Yes, it's more fun. I say yeah. Yes is more fun. Well, these guys work an unusual job. They sell the sun to a cranky mob. They might be on the left or right side, and some of their views we cannot abide. So we tell them yes. Yes is more fun. I say yeah, 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 yes. Yes is more fun. But no is less work.
I love that ending. Remember I was telling you his improvisational skills unmatched.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Great.
I was gonna say, I can listen to him play for hours. Like, don't stop.
I'm telling you, I don't like to memorize stuff. I like to make it up as I go. Which is, I think, really what I learned in business. And one of the reasons that I really liked improv. I did improv comedy, I've done improv music. And just like music is a language, business is a language. There's a common theme, there's a common goal, if you will. And I love meeting people who see it as a relationship rather than a transaction, and that's definitely what I'm seeing here. So it's really enjoyable to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it true that in improv, when you practice, it's yes and.
Yes, and
right?
and then you learn how to break the rules.
Right? Didn't we do that once?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of improv, business improv teaching, and it's about listening. It's about saying yes and adding to rather than shutting somebody
Yes.
down. Anytime
Yes.
you say no, you're shutting somebody
Yes.
down. And
So we say yes all the time.
say yes all the time.
You say yes.
Well, like
all the
yes
time
and see
without
what
even
happens.
saying yes.
That's like
You
another
just
word for
keep the
reacting.
energy flowing.
Well, right.
That's
and,
one of your.
And it's
you know,
just
your
like Rock
charms.
says too. It is going to be fun. In coaching, we teach the 3 pillars of the ego, which is I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, and I'm not lovable. Right. And what I try to do is flip it around to what I would call the 3 assumptions of awareness, which is I'm always safe, I'm always good enough, and I'm always loved.
I love
And
that.
if you can come from that, you can do anything. And that's exactly what you guys are talking about.
So
Yeah.
people have to
Beautiful. I
know
like that.
that Martin
That's
Einer
awesome.
is also, not only is he a life coach, but he's a relationship coach. He's a sex coach and a love coach. And I tell him about everything that's going on, and his lips are sealed.
On the podcast or
No, but
It's all, when
in
you're,
the
when you're a
future,
coach, it's all confidential. I mean, it's.
yeah, it's all confidential.
keep everything.
But we're gonna do some future
Although
love coaching.
I've shared some crazy stuff with Chet. No, I'm just kidding.
Repertoire. It grows. Martin's like Yoda though. He knows it all. It all.
No, he always makes me feel better. So if anybody needs any help with anything, how do they get a hold of you?
Through you, or my phone number,
Message in the
602-739-7073. If you need help, call me. I'm here to help people.
No,
Period.
so Martin is just
the rest of
great.
my life is dedicated to that. The first half wasn't. I said that I'm 55, so the first third's gone. So I got 2/3 left. And the first third I wasn't as giving, and now for the next 2/3 I'm gonna give. Like
We're not gonna die. We're
That's
gonna
really
get
cool.
uploaded into Daddy Musk's
Exactly.
cloud. Come on.
I'm shooting for 150. I'm telling you, life is too good to anything shorter
Health
than
and
that.
vitality.
He's taking us to Mars. Come
That's
on.
right. That's right. Me and Elon and our
So
and
back
our,
to you,
Tesla
Rock.
rocket ship.
So
I had a specific question for Rock.
Okay.
Rock, what made you say yes to Eric's company? Because there had to have been a certain quality that you saw in him that made you realize he has that talent. He's somebody you wanted to partner with.
That's good.
You know, golf is a great metaphor for life, and the way people play it and approach it is a reflection. We have a saying: "How you do anything is how you do everything." And so, just
true.
watching how he showed up, the fact that he's like, "Okay, I'll ditch the cart. I'm in. Let's go." He walked. He grabbed his bag. He joined the group. He leveled up.
He's a yes man.
He's a yes man, but in the way of given the opportunity to be challenged, he wanted the challenge.
He'll rise to that occasion.
Rise
yeah.
to the occasion.
But you exude confidence
Yeah,
and like just strength.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
you
he's,
do.
I mean, I've been golfing for
And
30
you do
years.
too. And you do too. We all do.
He's been golfing for a year, but he's an athlete, so he finds a way to win, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was...
Victorious.
So he
again.
beat you on the course. That's what you're saying.
No, don't go that far.
Yeah, there is a story that day.
Yeah.
Who won?
Well, we played a few holes, and then the other guys said, "Hey, let's play for some money," you know? And so I said, "Okay, I'll hook up with Eric." And as soon as we started playing for money, both of our games went up a notch, and we crushed the other. Seriously.
And those guys were crushing us for like the first 5 holes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you played them.
Yeah, it was
You
two.
played.
2 versus 2. I mean,
So
The
that's
whole white man
interesting.
can't jump there.
Yeah.
Something Rock said to me earlier today was when he was going to do all these seminars, he realized the way that people would be like, "Oh, I want to come and listen," is when he said, "I can teach you how to make $1 million." But if you would have said, "Hey, I want to help you work on your, positivity or your personality," they wouldn't be as interested. Is that correct?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
kind of fix that for me.
we all, like Martin said, we all have this ailment that we acquire over time. We're born and we can do nothing wrong, and somewhere we come along the conclusion that, we broke our mother's vase, we got yelled at, and we realized, holy crap, I have to behave a way to be lovable. And then we start to adapt. We start to listen to the environment. Go, oh, if I eat my my broccoli, then I'm safe. If I finish my homework and make my bed, then daddy loves me or mommy loves me. And so we change who we are to put on all these masks to become somebody that survives in the world. And then we lose who we are. And so my mask, I was given pizza face and bone dog, and I carried that for 20 years. I moved to Australia where it was sunnier. I should have come to Phoenix, even though it was so sunny here. Because the acne.
It's amazing here.
It is amazing here. The sun dried up my acne and made me feel more confident about myself. But at the end of the day, I met a mentor when I was 29 years old that told me that I can change any label that's given to me. And that's in the Goalcast video where I talk about going from pizza face to ruggedly handsome, using Clint Eastwood as the idol for me of, I could relate to him. Not Tom Cruise, he was too pretty, I couldn't really relate to him. It's really important when you change your identity that it resonates with you, that you feel it, that it's believable to you. You can't go, I'm a millionaire when you're dead broke and you have no confidence. You can't say, I'm happy, and you're depressed.
It's a different universe. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But then how do you get to that? Then I'm not following it.
So you got to surround yourself with people that see you. So how did we connect is I saw his greatness. And on some level, hopefully he saw something in me, right?
Yes.
And so then there's like, okay, I can push this guy. I can challenge this guy. I can share some of my wisdom with him, and we
Yes.
can grow together. He
Yes.
knows about the solar business. I don't, right? But I
Yeah.
know about sales. I know about building organizations. And so when you surround yourself with people
Yes.
like Martin, who will be able to give you wisdom,
Yes.
but also love, right?
Yes.
Then you start to not have those fears around those 3 pillars of, am I safe? Yeah, I'm safe. I feel safe with him,
Yeah.
right? Do you
Yes.
feel safe with him?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Right?
Oh, 100%.
So he
And at the Studio 3 Leaf recording, I have total trust and safe and love.
and
That's
so
a good plug.
it's really
Very
decent.
subtle.
Decent.
Very subtle.
And Bobby probably makes the person he's sitting
yeah.
at really safe when he's talking about solar because he genuinely cares.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this the best thing for them?
Yes.
So when you make people
He's a
feel
genuine
safe,
person. Yes.
he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's relationship. It's about the relationship.
It's about
It's not about the
relationships.
transaction, and that is, I love that about you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
How do
so
you want to chime in with this, Chet?
I would say that I don't know. Like I feel like the term safety is kind of a abstract thing. I don't know. Like I feel like having confidence is kind of more important thing. You know. Like I feel like safe. You can't ever be safe. You know, ever.
I like that.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
true. I feel confident with you. I feel confident with you. I feel confident
Yeah,
with you.
because I feel like
Confident with you.
I don't know. Every moment could be our last, so we don't know that we're safe at any moment. An asteroid could be headed towards us right now.
Right.
So this is a dangerous world we live in. You got to rise above it. I feel like
Some people feel.
He's loving it. Wait, Chet, look at this. He's loving
I'm
it.
just being really,
No, I
really
like it.
brutally
I like
honest.
it.
Like,
I like it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
But I think confidence and safety could be kind of like compared. Like they're similar.
Yeah, I guess you could use the word intention, right? Like
Yeah,
what's Bobby's intention? His intention is to serve. His
Yeah.
intention is to ask questions to find out if the person can benefit from what he has to sell. Your intention is to find out if you can share with somebody something that gives them an insight, a new perspective on life, right?
Exactly.
And
I
my
love that.
intention is to help people get out of the rat race because most people are taught to be consumers, not investors. They don't know how to buy cash flowing assets. For those people, today you can go and get a $100,000 student loan, but you can't get a $10,000 line of credit at the bank.
That's
That
insane.
tells you everything,
Yeah.
Wow.
right?
Yes.
So
They want you to owe, not to make.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what they want.
Yeah.
They want you trapped.
Yeah.
And they give you credit cards and they get you hooked and they propaganda you with get a nice car and get your own apartment and get your cell phone, and before you know it,
You feel safe.
Miserable but comfortable.
right?
So what is the secret? I mean, I know you can't give the whole spiel, but give us a few tips on like what do you teach?
Well, one of the things is environment. Environment's stronger than willpower. So you've got to find yourself an environment with people that are going to see the best in you.
Yes.
And so that's number one.
Yay.
Number two is you've got to stand guard at the door of your own mind because the world is going to advertise to you fear, to control your mind, to sell you pills or sugar or whatever they're going to sell you. And then you're going to become trapped by that.
Wait, can I ask you a question about the first point you made?
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like I surround myself with too many like yes men, like people that are always, confirming my beliefs but not calling me out on my shit. So where's that line for you? Like, do you try
that's
to?
a good question.
Yeah, because I find it hard to find people that will call me out on things and say, oh, you need to pick this up, you need to pick that up. So, and I'm sure it's even more with you because you have this fame and celebrity aura around you. You have people that are gonna kiss your ass just to be close to you. So how do you surround yourself with those people that are going to keep pushing you?
Good
I
question.
mean, it's a great question. I have a couple of answers, but one is your friends are comfortable with your present, and your mentors are comfortable with your future. And so
Wait, say that again. What?
your mentors are comfortable with your future, and your friends are comfortable with your present. So
Okay.
I'm comfortable with your future. So I'll ask questions about what you want to achieve and do in your life, and then I'll ask you, can I hold you accountable? And so you say, oh, I want to get a six-pack. I'm like, great, what's your plan, right? And you go, well, I'm going to work out 3 times a week. So I say, okay, great, I'll see you next week for Friday. Let's do dinner. I'm going to say, how'd it go? And you go, well, I worked out once, but then do. And I'm going to go, okay, what the fuck?
Put my feet to the fire. Yeah.
Right? Are you kidding me?
See, those are the friends I want right there. Yeah.
So I'm that guy.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I need to start hanging out with you more.
There's a big
Okay.
difference between
It's
a mentor
official.
and a friend. I think it took me a long time to find mentors. I was running, and similar to you, probably I felt like I was always the smartest person in the room, which always worried me. And so it wasn't until I found mentors who really had been through the ringer that could relate. But still to this day, I mean, I love my friends, but I don't have anywhere close to the same kind of conversations with my friends that I do with my coaching clients or my coaches, or even in the green room. I mean, it's a different level of conversation.
Where'd you find them, by the way? Like, where did you go find those people?
So, the universe,
Did you
whatever
say
you want to
golf
call
course,
it.
dude?
No, it wasn't a golf course. No. It was.
So the green
Serendipity
room,
right there.
we found each other through Sean.
Yeah, well, but the way that I found my coaches is I started an environmental chemical company 25 years ago. Was working in that 80 hours a week plus a second job, 4 kids, in the middle of divorce, just grinding myself to a nub. And we had a brand new board member walk in, and the guy just beamed. Like you just like there was sunshine coming off of his shoulders, and I'm like, I want to be like that guy because my life sucks right now.
Yeah.
And he was, so gracious that he stopped by my office, and he's like, introduced himself and just said, is there anything that I can do to help you? And I'm like, yeah, how do I become like you? Because I feel like I'm a hot mess, and you walk in there and everybody loves you.
Yeah.
And he pulled out this ratty old card out of his wallet and said, call these ladies. I was a hot mess when I met them, and now I feel great, And so that's how I met him.
Wow.
And then called him up, said yes is more fun. I said, I haven't found, it's 50. I was wasn't 50 yet, but set in my ways and wasn't ready necessarily to take a lot of risks. And then I just said, I'm going to do it. I did it, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I said yes. And I couldn't afford coaches. I didn't have the money at the time. I had way too many other bills. And, within probably 5 months, I was able to pay them.
So what?
Because I had changed my outlook on things.
What, fundamental things did you change that really, changed your life and made you happier as a person? Was it less prioritizing the company, or was it you were kind of over prioritizing work?
Well, the first thing that I learned was to slow down to speed up. Just because I was working 80 hours a week, 2-3 jobs, didn't mean I was actually accomplishing anything. And so it was really stepping back from that and really looking at what do I want to do? What is my future really going to hold? And actually writing it down, because I was just running, and hadn't really, for several years sat down and said, what do I want to do? What do I want with my life? I was too busy, dealing with my kids and my company and
the rat
employees
race,
and the rat race and all that. So,
did you focus more on your music then?
No. I focused more on my internal environment. Went from a more negative internal environment to a more positive environment. And that was through the coaching and through the exercises and the techniques that we teach. You teach, so many people out there teach it, different ways to do it. But it's you can't teach somebody that's not ready. They gotta want it. And when they want it, they're ready. And sometimes you have to be at the bottom of the heap. You got to be at the bottom of your life to go, I'm done with that. And that's what happened to me.
So, Rock, we were talking earlier about how one of your best qualities is your ability to evolve. And you've been staying current with the crypto markets. And so let's get into that a little bit. You said you got into Doge at the right time, right?
Yeah. I mean, today I have 44 streams of income. I teach people how to go from the left side of the cash flow quadrant to the right, which basically means to go from trading time for money to leveraging it to businesses, stocks, or to real estate. And I love real estate, and 90% of millionaires are created through real estate, so real estate's a great vehicle.
Is that true? 90%?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then there's reasons why people don't buy real estate. I won't get into that, but what happens is when you start to surround yourself with the right people and you start to get really curious, then you realize that we're in a very rapidly changing world. And so if you're willing to get into those different rooms where the conversation is different and you've developed enough cash flowing assets, then you can have some play money. So I took $100,000 and I threw it into cryptocurrency 4 years ago, and I thought, I'm willing to lose that. Within 3 weeks it went to 177. I thought, I'm really smart. And then I got busy doing other things, and I looked at it 3 months later and it was down to 25,000. And I'm like, but my plan was this, is that I'm resilient enough to wait. So I just sat that player on the bench. I have 44 players. That player got to sit on the bench for a while. I brought some other players out. We played the game. And then about 3 months ago, he came out and he threw a bunch of three-pointers, one after the other. And so I bought it at 0.003 cents, and it's at 50 cents today. I made over 10,000% return.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so when you have enough players, what I teach is get more players on your team that are on the offense. So I have real estate, I have medical companies, I have partnerships, I own real estate, I have commercial real estate, industrial, student housing, etc.
Cannabis?
So diversify
Yes.
the assets in the portfolio as much as possible, basically.
Yes, and there are many schools of thought. So some people are like, be really good at like Bill Gates at one thing and then crush it, or Steve Jobs, what have you. But even some of the great people that are directors in Hollywood, they own thousands of apartment buildings in Los Angeles. Nobody knows, but they buy.
Gotta have that backup plan, yeah.
But real estate, I mean, A-Rod got suspended years ago for drugs. And that year that he took off, he got into real estate. And he started investing in real estate. Today he has a business with hundreds of employees and hundreds of thousands of apartment doors.
Wow.
Really?
And he was so grateful that he got that suspension, because he either would have retired and had nothing to go to. And one of the other concepts I teach is what's great about this. So I lost all my hair to alopecia when I was 40 years old. And I could have cried about it. I could have felt bad about it. I could have thought I was dying to cancer. Instead, I said, what's great about this? To change my focus. And I thought, well, I'll never have a bad hair day.
Or a bad haircut. Like, you have a bad haircut.
Yeah.
What were they? I just gave him $40. Oh.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah.
You're as a present.
There's always a silver lining.
And so
Always.
the key is if you can get yourself to find it sooner, then your life is happier. Because how many of us know somebody who 5 years later is still upset about their divorce?
Oh,
Right?
lots of folks.
Bitching about it and
Okay,
complaining
okay.
about it.
Or just
I love
upset
what
about
you're saying.
something. Like
Something,
they've
anything.
achieved that goal that they fucking wanted, but then they're still complaining
Hold
about
on.
the weather.
Talk
Like,
about
come on,
divorce.
just be happy. Appreciate what you got.
Yeah.
Do I say nice things about your dad?
You talk about your divorce a lot, so yeah. Let's just breeze past this one. It's just a glance, just a bumper car.
Lately, do I say only nice things about your dad? And are there pictures all over the house with the whole family? Yes or no?
I don't know. I didn't look at your picture. It sounds like she put pictures up. Okay, everybody, now we know. But
Well, your dad and I talk like almost every day, and we're
good
on
for
good
you.
terms.
Yeah.
We're on good terms. Hi,
I'm happy
Steve.
for y'all. Nice.
No, but it's all true, and it's all perspective. You said that before. Is I think the reason you hire a coach is for a new perspective. And often people fight for their limitations. They go, no, you don't understand. I'm going through this or I'm going through that. No, I do understand. And everything you're telling me is a fucking story. And you're making the story up yourself. Choose another channel. Change the story. That's your choice. Viktor Frankl went through 6 or 7 years in a concentration camp. And he lost his wife and his children. And he changed the channel to an empowering meaning. How do I survive so no other people will have this happen? We have first world problems today. We get to the ATM machine, we're pissed off, we have to choose Spanish or English. Are you kidding me?
I'm not pissed about that, but there is a Karen out there somewhere.
You know? And or that our phone isn't uploading quickly enough. Like, what? What? You know?
So how do you think that you, with your upbringing, how did you just channel yourself in such a positive, I'm just going to focus on positive and
Well, yeah, because a lot of people would have been
Yes.
resentful and angry with that
How did you
upbringing.
not
There's
just
a lot
try
of
and-
people that
Well, I did plenty of that.
Yeah.
I did plenty of that.
How
You
was-
got through it.
how did
It
you
doesn't
get here?
work. Just through mentors. I mean, I learned a lot from Tony Robbins. I went to his event in 2001, and then I went to 19 events in 19 months. I became one of his trainers. And Tony has a lot of great principles. He teaches, that nothing has meaning, but the meaning you give it. So you are the director and the writer of your story. So are you going to go to the restaurant and complain about the meal and the service, or are you going to be grateful that, you had a meal and that maybe the waitress is having a bad day, and bless her and give her love.
Yeah, maybe you could make her day better
Right.
instead of complaining
Exactly.
and bringing it down more.
Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's such a minor thing in the scheme of things.
Yes.
But most people are addicted to their problems. Honestly, people are addicted to their problems. They love to talk about their problems. Oh, you wouldn't believe what my boss said to me today. Oh, tell me more. Oh, that's not half as bad as what my boss said to me.
And then it becomes a pity parade instead of let's talk about what you can do and what you can go out and accomplish. Yeah.
When we're in the solar business, one of the things that we talk about is that when we get somebody, because every once in a while you'll call or knock on the door and somebody, you don't know their life. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe they lost somebody. Maybe they got fired. You don't know. And they give you some feedback that is not that elegant. It's not what you would prefer to have, right?
Not that elegant. Ooh, I like that.
Right? And so what we say is we don't come back to the office and start slinging that around the office because you give it life. You come back and you talk about the deals you did, about the nice people you met. And
Yes.
you give the energy to that. Yes?
Yes.
Give the energy to that.
Give the energy to that.
There's an amazing book. It's called The Complaint-Free World. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically, for a few
Plastic
bucks,
band.
you buy a plastic band, and every time you complain, that you notice yourself complaining, you move it. And then the idea is to see if you can go 21 days without uttering a complaint. And it's hard. It took me years.
I can do that.
And then it got me to...
I love this
How do you
concept.
get to 21 days without even
really
thinking
did.
a complaint?
Wow.
And
Let's try it.
It's a
Let's all
fantastic.
challenge each
It's
other.
a fantastic.
That's good. Let's
Because
challenge.
rather than complaining about something, just solve that problem
Yes.
before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and if you save one complaint per day, that's 365 complaints per year that don't reach the universe, that aren't given energy.
And affect your negative psyche, which you could have been thinking about positive things, which you might have thought of a business idea or a song idea or joke.
yes.
The
Well,
list
How
is
many of those
yes.
365
Yes is more
complaints?
So on that
Expand it
note,
off
can
of
we hear
people.
Yes Is More Fun? Can we hear
100%.
your song before we run out of
Yeah,
time?
I
don't know
just
how much
sang
time we
Yes Is
have
More
left.
He just sang Yes Is More Fun.
Or whatever song
Did you
you
smoke a joint? You got the Dory number over here.
I want to hear it again.
No, let's hear some more Martin classics. Yeah. Whatever he wants.
Sitting all day, watching the time go by. I got a lot of negative things in my mind, but I don't want them. So I just focus on the positive things, and I think about how things could be. I don't focus on the past. I try to be in the N-O-W. I try to stay directly in the now, which is this moment. I mean, it's this moment. No, it's this moment. Oh, I mean, it's coming. All right, that's it.
And on a joke, I love it. Yeah, you get the laugh. I mean, that's it.
And then now.
Wait, right now. Wait.
Yeah.
Good timing on
That's
that
all
one.
we really have is the
That's it.
now. And it's beautiful to spend that with
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
too.
Yeah,
That's
this
great.
is awesome.
Martin, we need you to co-host full time again. We need you back.
I will try to find the time.
We're gonna chain you to the studio. It's gonna happen. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's a lot easier here. I live a lot closer
Oh,
to Sean's
perfect.
place.
Oh, perfect. Hey.
He
Just say yes.
he
I'll
does.
Things are meant to be.
Exactly. Yes and figure it out. I stand corrected.
So isn't this a great studio?
This is awesome.
I mean,
It's
three
so
We're
comfortable.
delightful.
leave
You guys
recording.
and hanging out.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get in here for a year. It's just incredible.
Well, we're gonna wrap things up. We've only got like 3 or 4 minutes left here, but this has been a really fun interview. I would love to have you guys back to talk again. Like I feel like this whizzed past basically, but so many interesting people here today.
Probably website, phone number for people who might be interested.
Oh yeah, plug all the
Yes, oh,
social
yes.
media. Get it all out there so everybody knows where to get their
Arizona
solar.
Custom Solar website, Instagram, phone number. I think you said right.
Yeah.
602-888-0805. And yeah, online, ArizonaCustomSolar.com, as well as our Instagram.
Reduce your carbon footprint, save some money, get some solar panels on your roof.
Let's go.
Don't be behind the curve.
And Bobby Reese can help sell you
course.
a
That's
solar
right.
Like,
panel.
give him that commission.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
It's not about the commission. Although,
But I
it
mean,
is.
why
And then
not?
what do you do with the solar company? We never really touched on that.
Well, I just help with the strategies and help them decide, what markets we're going to hit, how we're going to hit them, and how to
He
provide.
motivates us.
Sorry?
Motivates us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come into the meetings, talk about, what works, set incentive programs. I mean, the fortune is in the follow-up in life, and most people don't follow up because they don't have a vision, they don't have a passion, they're distracted by mediocrity. So part of my goal is to, elicit that from them. What are you going to do? How many homes do you want to impact? How many people do you want to help reduce their bill, right? The government's paying 28% of the bill. Let's get more money into those people's hands so that they can have a better lifestyle. So it's about framing, it's about vision, it's about empowering.
And all at
I
the
love
same
it.
time, having a good impact on the environment, because that's better than burning coal or fossil fuels, all that shit. So,
So
Yeah.
come back again. We're saving the planet.
One
show
at
at
a
a
time. Good times.
All right.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, that was fun.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
that was fun.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was awesome.